Hello, everyone. I think there's people here. It says there's people here. There's Dawn and Charmaine. Don't mind me. I'm a little behind schedule, so give me a second. Okay. So today there is a new moon tonight, and I was torn between doing a new like using a moon oracle deck, or it's also Memorial Day, trying to find something maybe possibly themed towards that. And then I had some stuff happen in my life, and there's been a lot of stuff happening across the country that was very impactful and hard. So I was kind of wondering how I should do this week's reading. And I apologize right out of the gate for yesterday. I know Sundays are my reading days, live reading days, and I didn't go live yesterday. And if you follow me on Twitter, you are aware that I made the announcement that I had a migraine, and I haven't been getting much sleep in the evenings. I've been having to take naps during the day, um, because on Friday I had something pretty traumatic happen in my family. And I've been trying to conserve my energy for others so that I can be what they need for me to be. And I was already, prior to this, because of the incidents that happened in Texas and stuff like that, I was already emotionally a little bit shaken, and take as many, all if not all of us have been, because of those 19 little angels and the two heroes that protected them. We, all of us, I think, as a collective, were just not within our proper spirits at that time. And then going into Friday, well, this literally my daughter's birthday, and then the next day was the incident in Uvalde, and then going forward to Friday was when I had some pretty pretty detrimental news happen to my family. And there's a few of you that are aware. It is on my Twitter, but and we give respect to the soldiers that have passed in the line of duty. My father was a United States Army man, and he served in the Vietnam War. He was an only child and an only son. He was drafted, so he didn't have to go. And yet, my father said that it was what he needed to do for his country at that time. So he went, despite my grandmother begging him and my grandfather also not wanting to acquiesce that. My grandfather fought in World War II. Both my grandfathers did. And my dad went and did his tour in Vietnam and left my mother, who was 8 months pregnant, when he went to Vietnam. She gave birth to my oldest sibling, and my dad found out about it when he had just landed in Vietnam. So that picture, that's everybody can see, that's my father. And I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this reading and my thoughts and prayers. And even though a lot of people say thoughts and prayers don't do anything. Well, you know what? It's what I got right now. So it's what a lot of us have right now. Um, but my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody who is facing something that is heavier than what they feel they can bear. And there is a lot of people out there right now, myself included, a lot of parents, a lot of families, just a lot of people who have had to lay someone to rest before they would have ever been ready. And something I said last night as I was attempting to have a heart to heart with my dad in heaven, was that I was never going to be ready to let him go. And my father passed away. He had Alzheimer's and dementia. And so to me, I lost my father well before I lost him because my dad didn't recognize who I was. I was his youngest, I was his baby girl. And to go see him, I had to strengthen myself so much because I was looking at somebody who I had never known a day in my life without. My father. And for him to look back at me and with a blank and empty stare, because, like you would stare at somebody who you didn't know. There wasn't a real emotional tie when he would look back. To not see that person that had that warm look at me because he had seen me become a mother and a wife and, hold my career down that I had dreamed about having, being a funeral director. And I know that's weird to a lot of people, is like, what, like, who wants to be a funeral director? I love my job. I love serving families. I used to do weddings, believe it or not. So I did the happiest days of people's lives, and then now I do the hardest days of people's lives. And for me, I needed that type of job. That was my calling. I think I always tell people that job picked me. I didn't pick it. Or that career rather picked me. I didn't pick it because it, for some reason in me, I've always had a substantial need to um, help others in traumatic moments because I'm a calm storm. And there's nothing really wrong with that, but it's a difficult task. And some people don't understand why people would want difficult tasks like that. Nothing wrong with that. So, um, when I go through traumatic experiences, I try to be there as much as I can for others. And I try to be the one that, gives them that inviting shoulder and what have you. When I'm not feeling good or when trauma happens to me, I become more recluse and I become somebody who has to just kind of go through the motions on my own. So I tend to look strong on the surface while crumbling on the inside. And that's a lot of who I am right now. If you looked at me, I can still smile. I've laughed in the last few days. I've played around and joked around with my kids and stuff like that. But it's just that inside has not been there. It's very numb. And a lot of people don't have don't they wear more of it on their shoulders, and that's okay. Some people, that's what they do. They have to they have to get it out, and there's no right or wrong way to grieve anything, you guys. Never. The way somebody grieves something is their way. The way another person grieves is their way, and that's to them, very much so to them. And I personally, um, the way I grieve is just in silence. And I've had a lot of people fill up my inboxes lately, and I haven't had any real words. When things happened, I talked to 4 people about it, and that was it. I wasn't going to make any huge announcements, but it was obvious that something was wrong, and a lot of people had picked up on it because I felt like I was overflowing with emotions at that time, and I didn't know what to say or do. And so I told a few more, and then I mentioned um, that I mentioned to a couple people, like I had a passing in the family and things like that, and they um, they said, well, are you, let people be there for you and stuff. And I've never been one of those that's very selfish about wanting attention. And so I don't know how to I apologize if anybody's reached out to me and I've just felt distant at any time in the last year, because the grieving process for me has been longer than the last week. It's been ongoing. You know, when you grieve somebody who had Alzheimer's, that's a slow passing, and that's something that you grieve in stages. And I have had to say goodbye to people more than once, and it sucks. So for me, it's just a, I'm just kind of going through the motion, if that's the easiest way to word it. The one thing I'm pretty upset about and can't tolerate is the chattering behind my back, and I'm gonna address that real quick. Um, I didn't want to say anything about what I go through because number one, it's nobody's fucking business. That's my life, and outside of social media, nobody walks in my shoes. Nobody lays their head on my pillow. Nobody takes care of my children. Nobody, um, or rather, people on social media. None of you, nobody's handling my day to day life. That's me. People exist through electronic devices, phones, computers, things like that. Um, and I know it would be different if people were closer. I'm not trying to disregard that, but I'm just saying I still have to compose me. I still have to be me. I still have to do what I need to do. And I can't cater to somebody who is upset for me, and I feel like I need to cater to their upset. Does that make sense? Where, if I tell somebody I'm going through something, they're like, "Oh my god, I feel so bad for you," and "Oh, please tell me what you need," when I don't even know what I need. And this is how a lot of people in mourning feel. We don't know what we need. If we knew what we need, we would go get it. We would fix it or whatever. Um, Especially strong people. A lot of strong people, they're the ones that go and get and go and do. And that's how I feel right now. Is I've got a few people that I do reach out to, that I do love, and I will go to for anything. Um, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. In the future, that might change. That might be different. I don't know. Um, it's it's complicated. Is the best way that I can put it. It's just complicated, and I'm a complicated person. I never claimed to be anything but. And I really do, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate everybody who has reached out with condolences, with well wishes and things like that. I appreciate, and I really do appreciate them. It may appear as that I'm a little cold and distant, and maybe I'm not as appreciative, and that's not the case. It's not that I'm not. It is, I have to go through my emotions, and I'm not a public crier. I'm not a put all my stuff out there type person. I just never really have been. If I put something out there, it's because I felt that it was okay to at that time. But when something hits really close to home, I don't put it out there. And last time I had something happen big in my life, I had some people decide to take that information and twist it around and uh, call me a liar, call me a lot of things. So you think I'm going to be that quick to announce anything over social media? And so I didn't. But then I decided I would make the statement in honor of my dad. And I did. And I think that if I didn't want to announce it because I knew we were going on that trip and people would be like, see, they really weren't going to go after all. And I'm like, never once in the last year did I say I was not going to be attending this trip. Okay. I've, like I said, I've had things in process and planning for this time for a while. And if anything, um, I've I'm always one of those that has plan A, B, C, and D in place, and Fluff can tell you that I've always got something in place for things. And I did. I had things in place, and I think other people expect me to have that public outcry or have that want factor, and I don't have that because my father taught me to have my bases covered, because my father taught me to never be vulnerable, because when you're vulnerable, people take advantage of you, whether it is emotionally or anything like that. But it has required strength from me that I've had to find in places I didn't have. So that's kind of where we're at, guys. That's where Jen's at, and that's why she missed. He was a very wise man, very very wise. He taught me everything I know about strength and everything that I know about uh, cars and, you know, military and how to be. I mean, he was strict. He wasn't easy. I'll tell you that much. But not all dads are the same. But he was the man that made sure that we took trips to Disneyland, and he was the man that was in my life every day of my life up until recently. And I don't know how to live on this planet without him. And I have to. And that sucks. But there comes a time when we all will, right? We have to say goodbye to people. And that's what I had to do this week. So, I apologize. I didn't think I'd have any tears making those statements, but apparently a couple snuck out. But we also have had a substantial loss, like I said, in our nation as a whole, where we lost those 19 beautiful angels and the two heroes that tried protecting them. And, um, you know, we should all make sure that a prayer goes out to their families who are grieving, and make sure that we are checking in on the silent people, that we are making sure that we are aware of warning signs, that we don't ignore pain, and that we don't ignore anger, and that we don't ignore people, as much as pop culture propagates this idea of toxicity and to avoid it. And I avoid drama, and I avoid. Yeah, yeah, okay, great, fine, good, good. But when we do certain things, we promote certain actions, and those certain actions can have a snowball effect that lead to people making outrageous actions that can cost lives. So that's one of the reasons why I say I never turn my back to anybody. I might be pissed off at you, but I will come back around and I will talk to you about it. And I will come back around and I will let you know where you have infracted with me. And I will tell you I can forgive you, or I can't. But I am not going to tread on your life. I have people that I don't care for. I don't mention them. I don't mention their names. I have people that I have given countless dollars to, countless hours of my life to, countless items to, and they've turned their back on me. And to them, I just say, I hope those things made you a better person. While you had flipped that coin and left me in feeling that I was nothing more than items and money and so forth to you, that's okay because I became wiser for it. But I've had a lot of people treat me poorly, and we, like I said, in pop culture, we perpetuate the, as long as it feels good, it is good, and if it isn't, then fuck it, move on, you know. And it's made for some pretty corrupt people, some pretty nasty behaviors, and there is some such thing as toxic positivity, where you're like, I'm just going to emulate positivity and do me, and everything feels great for me, while you're shitting on people. That doesn't make you a good person. Okay, it makes you fucking fake. All right. And if you don't like what I have to say, and if it somehow tingles on your skin, well, maybe the fucking shoe fits, Cinderella. Figure out who you are. But like I said, that was, I was gonna have some tea this week, and that was my tea a little bit. And the only reason I had it was because of the comment I saw where somebody had mentioned my deceased father, and that I was using it as an excuse. And to that person, your emptiness speaks volumes of you. It really does. And I hope you find a way to fill yourself, because, or I hope you find a way to get more hugs in your life, because you need them. And I hope that you find a way to be a better person, because you need that too. So that's my tea, guys. It wasn't the usual sassy tea. It was a little bit of reality, but yeah, today's a day a lot of people are barbecuing and having a great time, but it's a day of memory and memoriam, because today we wouldn't have this 3-day weekend if soldiers hadn't died for us. So that's what today is. Veterans Day, which happens in November, is the day that we honor people that have served. Memorial Day is the day that we honor those that gave their lives serving. So just remember that when you're, eating your hot dog or anything like that. But yeah. So why did I choose these two decks today? Like I said, it's new moon tonight. I could have chosen a moon deck. I have like 6 of them, but I wanted to go a little deeper. I do. I appreciate you a lot, Matt. I appreciate all of you that come in and hit the like button and stuff like that, and stick by for 22 minutes of me rambling about life. But I didn't want to necessarily just focus on the new moon. I'll probably do some, like, a pick a card video for you guys or something that's new moon based. Because of such a substantial day, such a day filled with high emotions, because it is Memorial Day, and because of what's happened in our nation and also what's happened with me, I chose, even though, okay, we all know Doreen, well, maybe, unless you read tarot cards, I mean, you might not know that Doreen Virtue is a very controversial person in the tarot community. She used to be all about that life, and then she flip-flopped, and she decided that she shuns this stuff because, well, she, yeah, it is the new moon tonight. It's crazy. She decided she shunned these things because they were not in line with her Christian faith. And that's fine. Um, thank you. Thank you, Sean. So, um, we're just going to ignore that it's a Doreen Virtue deck, because it's still a great deck. The Archangel Michael deck. And, if we focus on, that Michael protects us, and he's there for us in dark moments against negativity. Um, and he's there for us to fight battles, and protect us. I think at a time where we're vulnerable in this world, and a lot of people are emotionally vulnerable in this world, we might call upon the Archangel Michael for guidance. So that's why I kind of chose. And I mean, it's a really pretty deck if you're not familiar with it. That's the backing. Isn't that cool? So these do have, their religious context to them. So hopefully, my viewers can kind of detach from, any type of singled alignment faith-wise, and just be open. And that's all that I ask in any direction. And then, because it was on my desk, I chose the borderless Smithwaite deck. The the Pam, as much people call it. Did you guys ever like see the spare card? Did I ever show you guys the spare card in that deck? Isn't that cute? Love you too, Matt. Hey, OG Dustin. Hello, Black Dragon. So that's what we're gonna do tonight, you guys. We're gonna pull a card, and we're just gonna ask for guidance. Where whatever you might need guidance on this month, we're just gonna ask for some guidance, and see what the Archangel Michael cards give us, and then we're just going to pull a couple of clarifiers, just kind of clarify that energy a little bit, and go from there. All right? So we're going to start off with our usual groove. We're going to go Aries through Pisces, and starting off with our wonderful Aries. All right. One more shuffle. Yeah, there's a lot of people like, I can't believe those kind of fell out. I don't really want to use those. There's a lot of people that like, I can't believe you still use a Doreen Virtue deck. Well, you know what? They're good decks. I mean, she her faith aligned her differently, and that's fine, but still a good deck. All right, so from Archangel Michael, make a commitment. My prayer, Archangel Michael, as the angel of courage and confidence, I call upon you to lend me your strength. Allow me to commit to myself, my life, and my divine purpose. Please clearly guide me so I can fully open my heart to every experience. So this is just basically, how I would take that is at face value completely is, being open and committing to that openness and committing to allowing things to come forward. Hey, Diddles. Hey, Mo. And hey, anybody I missed. As you guys know, I typically don't look at my chat too terribly much because I'm focusing on the readings. So if I miss you, it's nothing personal in the slightest. It is just literally me doing my thing over here. So let's clarify this for Aries. Let's see what's going on for you, Aries, that will emulate this advice. So we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. We have the, pardon me, Six of Wands in the upright and the Empress in reverse. So, what I'm seeing here right off the bat, this is somebody who's not feeling good about herself at all, not feeling good as the way she appears as a woman, the way she's presenting herself. This doesn't, and mind you, there are no real genders in the tarot, so this could be the more of the feminine aspect, even in male form. Men have feminine aspects as well as women have male aspects, so don't get genders twisted in this. So maybe this is the side of you that's, if you're a male, this could be your nurturing side of you, that side that has both the yin and the yang. Maybe you're just being a little bit too dominant, too aggressive on anything, and you aren't allowing that caring, more softer approach to come through. Like, you're in this, I'm putting up a front versus this is how I really feel. Like, I'm not feeling attached to my children in the nurturing aspect. I'm not feeling like I'm proud of myself. I'm not, the feels are, not really there. The actions for that aren't really there. So this could mean you just, maybe right now you're not taking care of yourself in the sense of keeping your hair cut or doing your makeup, or maybe if you're a male, maybe you're not, keeping that facial hair shaved up. Maybe you're not, um, paying attention to wardrobe or our nails, little things like this, right? So this could be what's going on for you right now. And it's asking you right now to just be a little bit more open to the process, be a little bit more open to the idea that if we ask for it, God always provides. It may not be in our timing, but it is always in divine timing. And if we need something, if our spirit calls for something, if we pray for it, if we have the faith in it. Now, prayer, meditation, manifestation, however you word it, however you send a vibration out into the universe, as long as you're sending it with that idea that, yes, I have complete another faith in what I'm doing, as long as you're putting that good out there, it will come back to you. Now, if you do the reverse and the opposite, and you're putting out this kind of like energy of I don't feel that great, and I'm not paying attention to myself, I'm not putting in my end of the work, but I'm still expecting you know the higher powers to come through and give to me. That's not really how it works. If you're going to be speaking nasty about yourself, acting nasty about yourself, guess what God gives you in return? Guess what the universe gives you in return? It reflects back what you give out. And I've said that ever since I've become a reader. What you put out, you get back. All right. So, and don't put out false bearings. Don't put out false tongue. Don't sit there and be like, okay, I'm a happy person, because it's not real. Like, you're being sarcastic. So, what you need to realize is that when you're putting out these positive vibrations and you're really focusing on putting them out, calming yourself down, watching your tongue, don't speak if it's heavy with toxicity, um, closing your mouth and understanding there is a process. There is always going to be a process. There's always going to be a rhyme and reason. And even though they don't feel good, because we are creatures of emotion versus logic, we're humans, and we do things a lot off of emotion versus logic. Now, if we took out the emotions and we were just logical all the time, um, we probably wouldn't make half the decisions the way we make them, because we do make a lot of decisions based off of, well, this makes me feel this way. And that's where all your gluttony and your lust and all that comes from. They're very emotional based items. So this is just letting you know to make that commitment and follow through with it, no matter what you see, no matter what you feel, no matter what is told to you. Know the truth, because you have the faith in the truth. Okay? So just know things like this are very temporary. Looks, um, emotions are temporary. Things change, and we all know that. Um, we definitely change. We definitely change. What we looked like yesterday, we're not going to look like tomorrow. What we felt yesterday, we might not feel tomorrow. Things change. So just know that anything that you face is temporary. Have the faith in yourself, have the faith in the world, have the faith in the air you breathe. If all you can have faith is in your breath that you're taking, knowing that it's putting something into you, um, have faith in that until your faith can grow. Know that today, what you feel today, and this is some advice I can give to anybody, what you feel today, I promise you, will be different in a week, if even so slightly. It'll definitely be different in a month, and it'll definitely be different in a year. How I felt when I was 16 is not how I feel today. Not even close. How I felt in the moments where I wanted to take my own life, I don't feel that today. Okay? In those moments where I could not find value in myself to take another breath, I don't feel that today. And that is because feelings are temporary. All of them, even feelings of love. When you get married to somebody, the biggest lie anybody ever told was, well, you have to be in love and that's what keeps you together. Um, I'll tell you this right now. I've been married more than once, and there were days that I chose my husband because I wasn't in love with him every day. I didn't always love the person I was with every day. Okay. You make the choice of knowing better than your feelings. All right. When you're mad at someone, we always say, like, even though I'm mad at you, I still love you. Okay. Yeah. Because love is knowing. You know you love that person. Because the feelings you have in that temporary moment could be anger and, complete like disregard and stuff. And those are temporary, they lift. And anything else coming forward from there is what you know. And you manifest your feelings on a higher sense. So just know that things are temporary and they always can get better. Can they get worse? Absolutely. But if you keep going and you dig yourself out a little bit further and a little bit further, that hole is a lot less shallow, or a lot more shallow than it was previously. My bad. And it's, we use this analogy a lot in the funeral industry, is, if you're kicking the dirt from the grave in, it's really hard to bury yourself. um, and meaning that, when you're trying to dig yourself out of a grave and you kick that dirt down below your feet, you can actually escalate yourself up. And it's a kind of a bad joke, but a few of the older funeral directors I know would say that, and they're like, yeah, when the days are hard, just kick your dirt under your feet so it helps you lift yourself out of the grave. But that's kind of how it works. So, Aries, I hope those messages came through for you. We're going to move right along to our wonderful Taurus gang. See what messages we have this week for Taurus. And I'm sorry that readings are a little bit heavier this week, guys. I think just the energy's a little bit heavier. But like I said, energies change, emotions change. So we're going to go with it this week, help lift some people out. And then, next week it's going to be different. It is what it is. So we're going to go with it, right? We're, who needs to be helped, because it's not always about laughter and spontaneity. Sometimes it's about being real and honest and serious. So that's what we're going with. Alrighty. And Taurus. Oops. I gotta figure out a new way to anchor this, because anchor the camera so I don't hit it. All right, Taurus. This is your life's purpose. My prayer. Archangel Michael, you know the details of my divine life purpose, and I ask you to help me be aligned with my goals. Please clearly guide my actions so that I am taking the best steps to fully manifest my wonderful and meaningful career. So, when it speaks career, it doesn't always necessarily mean like career as in work, but career as in life's purpose and your driven factor in this life. So not necessarily like work ethic career, but just the career meaning your divine purpose. So let's get some cards drawn for Taurus. See how we can clarify that message a little bit stronger. And I'm not 100% sure why I picked the Archangel deck, to be honest with you. I have other angel decks, but for some reason that one jumped at me today. So we went with that. Okay. So for this person, for the people that this reading is going to resonate with more, these are some really beautiful cards. You got the Two of Cups, the World in the upright, and the Three of Pentacles in the upright. So in the sense of where somebody might be looking for, right away, this one spoke to me in an actual physical career. But so for the person that's probably looking for a career option, like I really need to learn how to like not only serve mankind and people, but also make money doing so. This, like, the marriage counselor is what I'm getting from somebody counseling, somebody that's going to help somebody find their passions and manifest in their world. And this is like where I'm getting that almost therapeutic group type counseling vibe. So there is a Taurus out there that might be looking towards doing some life coaching or marital counselor or something like that, that actually helps somebody work through a church, perhaps, helping lift people towards their greater purpose, finding themselves in that lost sense. There is definitely, either you will be receiving that calling or you will be receiving an invitation of some sort for that. I'm definitely getting that vibe. Somebody has that vibe coming towards them. Like maybe this is something they've wanted to do. This is going to come in many different ways. Like I said, for some, it might come in the sense of at church they want you to lead a study, or like a Bible study night, or to lead a revival night, or to lead a women's group, something like that, something that helps with coaching, life resolve, or anything like that. And then there's some people out there that are probably wondering, what do I do with my degree? Um, I've got this wonderful degree in psychology. What do I do with it? Maybe you need to get into the therapy component of it. And some people are going to be looking at it in terms of, like, marriage counselor, or like life coaching, finding that common goal, that passion. A lot of people see the Two of Cups as a very passionate union. And this could, some, like, where I get the marriage counselor is also from this card, but where I see this is just guiding someone to find their purpose, to find their common goal. So that's where I'm getting that. And then world just meaning something that's all encompassing. So that's where I can kind of derive that aspect of it. Might be something that is very faith based, because it could come through church, it could come through anything that really is a cycle in your life. So for those that do follow, their faith of going to church and stuff, that might be something that is a very constant in your world. And that's where I'm getting that type of energy and vibration from. So other than that, on the flip side of that, this could definitely mean somebody needs that in their life. They need to find life coaching. They need to probably get counseling or something like that, because that's going to revive passions, and that's going to be reviving things in their world. It's nothing, you're not, um, whatever Taurus this might speak to, you are not so far in the dark that you cannot find the light. And that. I think you've woken up to that sense. You're just kind of like, what do I do? So this might be the calling to you to go towards that, you know, maybe going to church, maybe going to a partner group or something like that, or finding some commonality in, like, date nights, going and meeting on with friends, going on group dates or anything like that. Just finding common stones to walk on with others is something I'm also getting. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for that. And that's going to help you, for whatever reason, that's going to help you on your best goals. All right. So that's kind of what I'm getting for that. Next, we have our wonderful Geminis. Let's see what advice we got going on for our Gemini gang tonight. Gemini. Into one more. Okay. Let's see what we got for Gemini tonight. Plop. Going forward fearlessly. So the prayer for this is, thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my life and my true life's purpose. So this is just total gratitude and knowing what you needed to be doing and being able to do it, and doing so unapologetically and fearlessly. So this is a really great card to have there, Gemini. So let's get some clarifiers, Gemini. Let's see if there's anything that we can clarify this with, or just a secondary message or anything like that. Let's see. Let us see. Well, you're welcome, sis. Not all of my cards are scary. Somebody one time told me, they're like, are all your cards like menacing looking? And I was like, actually not at all. Alrighty, so we have the Tower card, Two of Swords in the reverse. No, I have not done Leo yet. And the King of Wands. So to the person who's feeling like their whole world fell apart. Now we all know the Tower card, it looks like a big hot mess, but it really just represents change. So, where you were undecided because there was some chaos in your life and you were pretty undecided, with this King of Wands energy, very, very, very much emulates with this card, because it's like going forward. And the King of Wands is all about action, and he is about, like, being assured of himself, knowing, like, these two definitely hold hands with one another. So where you were undecided, you're like, you know what? I'm going to either find what I needed to find along the way and make that decision, or you're just going to trust it with your faith and your direction. And that's what I'm getting from this. So in the world full of chaos and really not knowing what to do, you're like, I'm going to find out what to do. There is a lot of fiery energy. This is a lot of, I just completely in regard to, the higher powers and the higher being and the higher self. So that's what I'm getting from this. So Gemini, I think that message came through pretty crisp and clear. And we're going to go ahead and move along to our wonderful Cancers. Y'all know sometimes the readings start off a little bit slower and then they pick up. But I think that one definitely came through loud and clear for whoever needed it. And sometimes I let those messages just be the lion in the room. Alrighty. Plop. You also have the Make a Commitment card. So, we're going to go ahead and read it again, even so. The Archangel Michael, as the angel of courage and confidence, I call upon you to lend me your strength. Allow me to commit myself, my life, and my divine purpose. Please clearly guide me so I can fully open my heart to every experience. So I really do like that card because it is a really humbling card. It is a card of like, all right, it's anti-resistance, but it's calling upon you to be committing to the lessons that are coming forward to you. So let's see if we can get a few cards to kind of help us along the way with that message. One more, please. Thank you. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have the Star card, we have the Fool, and we have the Ace of Wands. So this is another, when we humble ourselves out and we get into that mode of like the pink cloud of like, all right, I know that I'm going to find a better resolution. I know that, we come to these situations usually when we're trying to come out of a bad or a negative component in our life where we're like, anything's better than this, right? So we come out of those with like, okay, I'm literally laying down the gauntlet for you. I am literally just on my knees, like I've resisted in every other way. I thought I knew better and I didn't. So you were right all along type energy, and it's very humbling on your knees going, okay, I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to make that commitment. So that's been your biggest wish all along. Like that is something that this is in formulation in the stars for you already. This was like your divine purpose, and you're drawing to everything that led you to this point, had its purpose. It was in your divine mapping. So now you're going to go forward with it. And you know what? Just go forward with it right now. Like make that commitment to self, that commitment to spirit, that commitment to mind and body, and just do it. You might not be perfect at it, but guess what? The universe, God, they're all going to line up and guide you along the way. You're going to gain your strengths, you're going to gain your knowledge, you're going to gain everything, and it's going to come in its timing with the experience. With it, each step you take, you have to gain your strength. So you're gonna be a little wobbly. It's like a baby duck, they learn how to waddle around. They're just, they're not real good at walking, but they're trying, they're trucking through. And that's just kind of what this is with that Fool card and that Ace of Wands. It's coming in fast, fiery, and it's there. The actions are just there. It's ready. So that's what I'm seeing from this. This is a very strong and yet very powerful. There's a lot of vibrational, energy in these cards, and with this of very like, it's like slingshot, like where you've been pulled back, now it's ready to launch. And you just be that person that puts the helmet on and goes woohoo and just kind of enjoys the rush of being catapulted forward, because you know that you're going to be catapulted into something that was purposeful for you. So that's what I'm seeing from this. Alrighty, and I believe we are on Leo, right? We just did Cancer. I apologize, my kitten's over here acting a fool. So it kind of, see how easy I can get distracted. Um, did we just do Cancer? Was that Cancer? Anybody? 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 I think we're up. I think Leo's next. Okay. All right. Leo. Leo, Leo, Leo. I apologize, guys. Sometimes I'm like, is it that one or that one? I need to find a better way of like notating which sign I just did. Because I can easily get distracted sometimes. They are a great distraction. Um, yeah, we'll go with that. They're playing, so it's like I'm just trying to make sure they're not hurting one another because they're kind of one's a little bit bigger than the other one, and I have to make sure it's not hurting the other one. Yeah, basically, it's like the Griswolds with the squirrel. It's like, but yeah, I just have to make sure that the little Puckwudgie over there isn't getting himself attacked because he thinks he's bigger than what he is. He's like that little dog in the cartoons. It's like, yeah, I'll beat up the big guy, and it's like, dude, no. And so yeah, they've calmed down a little bit. Alrighty, Leo. Let's get your oracle card. Let's get you some advice from Archangel Michael. Alrighty. And we have the keep your eyes on your targeted intention. So the prayer it has right here for you is, thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me focus on my inner vision and intention. I ask for your guidance in releasing any fears or doubts, granting me the confidence and courage to take action towards realizing my dreams. So, like, I mean, there's really not much more to say other than this is a time for you to really focus on releasing things that have been holding you back and really directing your intention towards the direction you want to go in, the just that openness that's kind of like an opening of light from your chest straight to your divine being that you emanate with, whether that's God or otherwise, and just really understanding that bond and that spiritual alignment between the two of you, because as we know, God isn't, our gods don't want us to be stagnant. They want us to continue and flow with the energy that they have given us. But us as people with free will and ego tend to let other things mix in our pot and weigh us down. So, what it's asking you or what it's directing you to do with this is to just let those things go. It's so simple. You just have to let them go. And our ego tells us, oh, no, it's not that simple. I can't just do that. That's a lie. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. You can absolutely do anything. So that's what this is directing you with. It's just making sure you don't lose sight on things because the world tells you something's not possible or something's not in alignment with you, okay? It really, that's just an infection of the mind. That is just what man has instilled in you. That is not what God instills in you. So keep that in mind, and we're going to go ahead and pull some cards to kind of help clarify things, maybe help better align you in that situation. Just kind of see what other advice we can pull out of that. Just going to get one more shuffle in for Leo. Let's see what we got. That ain't supposed to be in there. That's the okay, we'll take that. That was the that little spare card that they give you to tell you what the deck is. Whoops, thought I pulled that out. Oh well, it happens. Okay. So with the Five of Cups, all right, so now is not the time to look backwards at the spilled milk of your life. Now is the time to remember what you have in your back pocket, your aces up the sleeve, things like that. So with the Five of Cups in reverse, we're being asked to remember that there is always an outcome that is different than the mess that you see. All right, there's always a hidden agenda, a hidden meaning. That doesn't always mean bad. You have resources. You just have to come in tune with them. And yes, you have been in an imprisonment within yourself for quite some time. You've been the victim of your own mind, with this Eight of Swords in the reverse, and now is the time to really unleash yourself from it. It's gonna feel weird at first because when we've really literally been down on ourselves and been our own worst enemy and really entrapped ourselves in the idea, if it can't get better than this, it's not going to change. You know, all these negative things, when we first step out of those, because it's like I said, you just have to let it go. You just have to stop doing it. You just have to not cater to those negative components. Once you start doing that, it feels weird, but it almost feels like you almost feel kind of naive because you're like, I could have done this whole time. I could have just literally told myself, like, I am your best friend and I am here for you, you know, and it was that easy. Yeah, it can be that easy when we tell our egos that they're not in charge, that our higher being is in charge. Yeah, we feel a little silly about it, but um you've been just so hard on yourself here, Leo. You've been literally degrading yourself, this whole time, and you've been almost a victim to yourself. You got to learn to be nicer to yourself. With this King of Swords in reverse, he can have a tongue on him that is just not pleasant. Because he loses his filter. The King of Swords loses his filter completely when he's upside down. He literally is like willing to say anything to cause an action, to cause the mind to flood. So if he wants you to feel like shit, he knows what to say to make you feel like shit. And that's what's been going on here. That's what's been going on. And you got to free yourself. You really do. You really do. And I hate saying it's simple because it's so simple that it's not. And it's so not simple that it is simple. That's basically what it is, guys. That's what I'm telling you with this. And to the Leos out there that are like, you know what, Leos, I love you guys so much because you're so strong. You're so strong that you're too strong. And when you get in your strength and, you're great for everybody else, but you're almost monsters to yourself. You're so strict on yourself. You're so like, it has to be this way or it's no way. And that's what I'm seeing for a lot of these Leos is like, you've really just been the worst father figure to yourself. And that's what's been going on. You gotta just drop it. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You gotta let the good come in because you deserve it. You really do. So many good people forget that they are deserving of great things, even in bad situations, You just kind of gotta drop that nonsense. Drop that hot coal that you're holding on to thinking it's not gonna hurt. Yeah, it is. And it does hurt. It's okay for it to hurt, all right? So there's your messages, Leo, and hopefully that helped some people. And and hopefully that has, I didn't even see what you said, PLE, but I'm sure it would have made me laugh. But hopefully that has caused some people to open up their eye a little bit to some of the less nutritious habits that we have for ourselves. Hot potato, of course. All right, so moving along to our Virgos. Virgo. Let's see what we got going on for our wonderful Virgo gang. And if the readings emulate with you, resonate with you, please just go ahead and drop a comment down below at the end of the stream. Hit that like button, share it out with people, because that helps build my algorithm so I can have a farther reach, so I can help more people out, because that's what I like doing after all. So Virgo, let's see what we got going on. And yes, I do change my decks pretty much every week. I do try to do a different style of reading. Often, no two readers are alike, and I kind of like that about myself. So for Virgo, here is yours this week. You and your loved ones are safe. Dear God and Archangel Michael, thank you for watching over me and my loved ones. You can name specific individuals. Please help me feel secure at my peace and fill me with faith so that I may focus on my priorities and enjoy a healthful, happy life. So to the Virgos that are constantly in that state of worry because you have to be so much to so many, or feel that you need to make sure that your own cup is filled, because you can't pour from an empty one. So just know that let God do his job. Let our gods do their jobs. They are there to protect. They are there to they got this. So use some of your free will towards yourself and making sure that you're good so that you can be of service. But we never want to take over God's job, right? And I know, because I need to say that to myself a lot, where I have to feel like I'm in 1,000 places at once and everything to everyone. I definitely need to hear that once in a while. But Virgo, this one's for you, not me. So you too are feeling out of your element. Alrighty, okay. One more, please. Alright, back over there. So, feeling like you cannot be everything that you need to be for people, that you're running out of those resources, that you've got really like no direction, right? Like, because right here, when we see the Four of Cups, he's sitting there paying attention to his 3 down there, ignoring that one that's in the clouds. You're no longer in that state of ignoring, okay? You know that what's out there is going to come forward. It's going to have its place with things, but you're kind of like, I'm running out of resources on how to like pull that energy in, all right, with that Empress in reverse. And for some reason, you're feeling like, what, the things you're doing are just not enough. And that's probably not the case. It's just you're trying to assume a role that's not within your purpose, not within your alignment. Okay. Like I said, when we try to play the God roles, where we try to protect everyone, do everything, and all that, no, there's certain things that we have to just kind of let God handle. We can be there on the assistance, but not try to be the main player for that. Okay. Um, when you care about someone so much and they're having a hard time, and you're like, I need to do every little thing. I need to get them back on track. I need to do this. I need to do that. Well, there's a few things you have to let your God handle. And there's things that are out of your scope. You don't know exactly 100% what the future is going to bring. And you don't know that you're always in that sense right now of preparing for the worst is what I'm really getting. That's the message I came through. And preparing for the worst means you're sending out the vibration that the worst is coming, and you need to keep that. Hi KJ, how are you, sweetheart? And you need to keep that sense of that peace within yourself of like, if I prepare for the worst, then that's what I'm manifesting. That's what I'm sending out there, is the worst is coming, because you're preparing for it, right? So what happens when the worst shows up and you're like, oh, I feel, you kind of feel validated, but at the same time, it's like, did you make that happen? And Virgo, sometimes that's what you do, is you make that happen. If you sit there and say, I'm not going to prepare for the worst, I'm going to let, God, and I'm going to let the divine do what they need to do, and I'm going to battle what comes, whatever that is, if I need to. I've been better, KJ sweetie, but I'm really glad you're doing good, hun. I keep you in my thoughts and prayers all the time, hun. Hopefully things are going great. I saw some stuff on your Facebooks and I'm a little excited for you. Hopefully the new suitor is coming along good. I've been excited for you for that. But that's kind of what I'm seeing for you, Virgo, is don't prepare for things that we don't. You should always be prepared, but don't hyper focus on the intention of the prepared, of what you're preparing, okay? So that's like saying, I'm going to make cookies, and I know the people are all going to like chocolate chip. And then you find out that there's a lot of people that like white chocolate macadamia. And you're like, but I baked cookies and I knew that they would like chocolate chip. And it's like, yeah, we like it, but we would have preferred this. Kind of a rough analogy, but oh my gosh, one of the kittens totally came up on my lap too. You guys want to see her? Her name's Pookie. Say hi. Say hi, Pookie. Like right in her face, poor baby. She's the tiny one too. Hi, she wants cuddles right now. Mommy's busy. Mommy's busy. I can't give you cuddles right now. She's so like, yeah, she's so like, Mama. She is. She's totally cute. She's the cuddly one. I have another one his name's Chunk, because he was a little fat thing when he was born, and we always say that he ate his brothers and sisters. because his brothers and sisters passed away. They had failing kitten syndrome. So there was really nothing we could do. Um, and we always say like he must have swallowed their souls or something. And he's just so spoiled, and he is so like he's so adorable. Then I call him Puckwudgie because he's like ferociously mean all the time. And Fluff's always trying to say like that's gonna be PLE's cat, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's mine. He's so freaking cute, but he's such a little shit. So Pookie, he's now asleep, so Pookie wants someone to play with. But that's kind of what I'm getting for you there, Virgo, is you're trying to assume a role that you feel like you need to do all these things, but they're not actually necessary of you right now. They're actually not even happening in that way. Like you're over processing things. So calm down a little bit, fight the battles that come your way, have your weaponry ready, but don't sit there holding it, wearing yourself down, not eating, sleeping, being like, I know a battle's coming, I'm gonna have this heavy ass fucking armor on all the time. And then like when the battle does show up, it's like one person, and it's like, why the fuck was I wearing all this armor and shit when I could have just thrown a rock at this guy? That's kind of the thought process that you have been in. And you know what, it's it's you're sacrificing your any type of joy or positivity that you can find in this situation. Alrighty. Hey Jan sis. Um Virgo, Libra. Alright, Libra, let's see what we got going on for our wonderful Libra gang tonight. Eventually Fluff and Charmaine are gonna know the order of the Zodiac by memory if we keep this up. That's why I can say, which one was I on? They'll usually tell me, and I'll usually know right away which is next, because I just follow the basic order of the Zodiac. I try not to get too crazy. So Libra, what messages do we have for you? And you have... we just did Virgo. KJ, you actually came in just in time. So if you just scroll back a little bit, you'll hit it. Take your time making this decision. Archangel Michael, please help me stay strong and relaxed as I approach this situation. Remind me to detach. Remind, not rewind. Maybe for somebody they need a rewind, but remind me to detach and step back, allowing the situation to naturally unfold. Thank you for protecting me. She does know every order. She's pretty cool like that. Hi, Liz. I don't know if I got to say hi to you when you came in, but welcome back to the channel. Thank you for coming in. And hopefully my moderators are making sure everyone's feeling extremely welcome tonight. I read that as I PLE'd. Like what Charmaine just said right now is like, wait, what? You plead? You peed? What? So what does it mean to PLE? Like to actually physically PLE. I don't know what that... It came into my head though. Apparently PLE is like a verb now. Alrighty, so we have the Emperor card. We have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse and the Moon card. So I see the Emperor as being you right now, Libra, and of course, because this is you, right? So, Libra, you have always been so strong, so determined, so regulated in things that right now you need to stop being such that little greasy miser that you can be sometimes, and hyper focusing on money and finances, and actually let loose a little bit and enjoy, because that's how you're going to figure out, like that's how you're going to be able to figure out those little dark corners of yourself. That's how you're going to find release from those things that you tend to push back so hard that you don't even realize that they're hiding behind little crevices of your spirit and yourself. All right. So you need to make that decision to, and this is a decision for you, because it's something like your normal powerhouse situation is to be pretty like reserve money, reserve, things like that. And right now you're like, no, you need to, you've saved, you've done the right deeds and stuff like that. Go have a little bit of fun. Not so much that you end up broke, but go have a little bit of fun. Don't try to be so reserved, because you're going to find that, those dark onsense and nuances of yourself, had had lied within you all along. The release, all of those things, that was within your reach. This, nothing else was hiding it, nothing else was cascading over it. This was pretty much you all along. Okay. And so when it's asking you to naturally allow a situation to unfold, this is like the step work to do it, because this is the situation and this is you allowing it to unfold. But you have to actually do that work, because it's not something that comes naturally for you, Libra. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, right? All right, so moving along to our wonderful lobsters of the zodiac, our Scorpios. Oops. Alrighty. Give me 1 second, guys. Apologies. Okay, so Scorpio. Pay attention to your dreams. Thank you for tucking me into bed tonight and helping me enjoy a wonderful, restful night's sleep. Archangel Michael, I invite you into my dreams as a teacher, guide, healer. Please allow me to understand this specific situation on a spiritual level and give me guidance. All right. So, okay, so this is very much depicting of this, paying attention to your absolute fulfillment and everything coming into fruition, where not everything's a fight, but how this comes into fruition is when you learn not to be so proud about things. You need to humble yourself up a little bit here, Scorpio, because your dreams are in path working with you. You're in alignment for them. You always have been. Really great things are coming up for you, especially within the next, I'd say, no, right? Well, we're doing this for the next week. So within the next week, you've got some pretty good stuff coming up pretty effortlessly. But you're going to have to remember to kind of humble yourself up a little bit. For whatever reason, it's inviting that energy. But Scorpio, right here, you've got everything coming in really cool. The thing is, I'm getting it's going to come in quick. You've got some attention coming your way, but it's going to come in quick. And a lot of that attention is going to be false attention, unfortunately. So just be prepared to humble yourself up, because not all of it's going to stick. Actually, a very small portion of it's going to stick. But attention, not so much false attention, but the part that has to do with you and manifesting your dreams and everything, that kind of comes in alignment. So it's kind of like this: when you gain like a new fan base, not everybody is your friend in that fan base, right? It's just, they have their eyes on you. So know the difference, in other words. And I'm getting that that's going to apply directly to a specific Scorpio fan base. So that's what I'm kind of seeing right here. So just stay in alignment. Just stay in alignment. Stay exactly who you are right now. And that's how you're going to keep that momentum going. All right. Don't let your head grow with the hot air from other people. That's what I'm kind of seeing from here. Alrighty, so that was quick to the specific Saggies, or specific Scorpio. But moving along to our wonderful Sagittarius. No, that one just kind of fell out in a mess. Plop. Be gentle with yourself. Archangel Michael, please guide me in treating myself with gentle, nurturing love in everything I think, speak, and do. Help me know that I deserve this compassion. I release any feelings of guilt. So to the Sagittarius out there that doesn't know how to take good things as they come in, this is definitely speaking to you. Don't have reservations of guilt when it's your turn to take in from the prize, okay? And it's your turn to enjoy that attention, that compassion, that love. You need to do so guilt free. It's your turn. If it takes time you away from other people or other situations, that's okay. That's the alignment that you're in right now. Alrighty. So, definitely looking forward to a brighter future. He's got the world in his hands. You're looking forward to those things that are coming in. You are no longer paying attention to that spilled milk. You have, there are good things coming. There was good things coming from this accident. This accident lets you see, the accidents of the past have let you see the good things coming forward. And right there with that Nine of Cups energy, that is being in complete satiety. That is you being like, you know what, I feel great. It's not quite a 10, but it's a 9. You are in, needs are met emotionally, needs are met. And if there is a specific person who's dealing with a new lover and you're like, I feel like I don't deserve this person treats me amazingly, just like everything's in alignment, um enjoy it, enjoy it. Hey girly girl, because this is definitely called towards you, and this is definitely in alignment with you, and you have nothing to feel bad about. So we're going to leave that one as that, and we're going to move along to our wonderful Capricorn to see what we got in store for them. Alrighty. Your children are watched over by angels. Dear guardian angels of my children, born and unborn, thank you for watching over my children and ensuring their happiness and safety. Please guide me so that I know the best way to be a good parent and role model for my own and other people's children. Alrighty, so to the parent that's out there that is a Capricorn that's really trying to manifest a stronger sense of parental being and being a great parent and being all those things that they truly desire, this one's definitely for you. So let's see what other cards we got here to kind of help vibrationally pull that. Pull all that together, in other words. Or just some additional messages that can kind of help a specific Capricorn, kind of help guide them towards this message, maybe. All right. So the anxiety, you have like, this might be a single parent out there, because see how there's that Three of Cups where it's like that third party wasn't involved, that other, it's you, the kids, and maybe that other party wasn't involved. Or there might be a parent out there that feels that they've given up a lot of their partying or a lot of their frivolousness or anything like that. Lots of anxiety. There is a parent out there that suffers from a lot of anxiety, but you know what? That equal give and take is coming. The work that you put in is going to be coming back. You are going to start seeing that. Just keep your children in your prayers. Let God do what he needs to do. And for you, work on you. Work on understanding that, the anxiety doesn't make you a better parent. Worrying about stuff that has happened or might happen doesn't make for a good parent. It keeps us on guard. It really does. But at the same time, you need to make sure that you're okay. This is definitely making sure that you're okay. And to the parent that maybe there's a parent out there that is owed something, this might mean that that is coming back your way. If if there's a parent that's behind on child support, second parent that's behind on child support, maybe that might be resolving in some way. But definitely to the Capricorn out there that is experiencing this need to be a stronger, more available parent, or just wants to have a stronger reach with their parenting. Maybe you've had some deviation between you and your children or anything like that, then this reading would definitely be for you. And I can see that that would be a huge contention of anxiety for anybody, especially a Capricorn sometimes. All right, so Aquarius. Aquarius. Okay, you also got you and your loved ones are safe. Dear God and Archangel Michael, thank you for watching over me and my loved ones. You can name specifics. Please help me feel secure and at peace, and fill me with faith so that I may focus on my priorities and enjoy a healthful, happy life. For some reason, that word just could not roll off my tongue. But let's see, Aquarius, what we have in line for you. Let's see what other messages. Okay. So, we have somebody who may have had a severance from somebody. And because you got that Two of Cups in reverse, this could be a breakup, but this could be something that a severance from something that you are passionate about. It's going to involve you making some huge decisions, but what focuses me on more is this Nine of Cups in reverse. This is codependency energy. So that's what I'm saying. There could have been a severance from a loved one, but there's definitely going to be a severance, or has been a severance, of something that is very meaningful for you, and you need to make a decision about it. But with this codependent energy that I'm getting from right here, you need to realize what does and doesn't consume you, or what is or isn't you. You know, nobody needs to have this type of energy where I'm relying on something in order to feel fulfilled. Yes, we all have passions, we all have things that make us come alive more, but you also need to fill in those gaps. You need to have a little bit of gap insurance for those times where those other people, those other things aren't around or available, so that you don't fall into this consumption of yourself. All right. And just know that, like, if this is involving, like, a loved one or something that you have had a severance from, this person has gone away, this, you've had a deviation, just know that this energy that you have right now, yes, it is very strong, it is very hard, but you need to also make sure that you are aware that you are a person too, that you are responsible for yourself, that you are responsible for things as they come and go from your life, and that you are responsible for the way you feel about things and the way that things make you feel. It's not the other way around, okay? So that message sounded like it came through pretty clearly for our wonderful Aquarius. So moving along to our Pisces. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. And our last sign of the reading. Oops, okay. Sense of humor, Pisces. I know that can be hard for some Pisces to have. But thank you for helping me see the humor in the situation so I can lovingly laugh at human nature. I am willing to view my experience in a new light in order to attract love and healing energy. All right. Let's see. I don't think that one really needed any total clarification on that, but let's see if we can get some guidance on it, or any additional messages for Pisces? All right. So you got that Ten of Cups right there. The Magician in reverse. Okay. And the Death card. Okay. So you need to have a sense of humor, because you also need to remember that happiness is not something necessarily you can force on yourself. You can lie to yourself and tell yourself that it's, you know, you're laughing at your misfortunes and not therefore finding happiness in them. But you also need to take the lessons too, okay? Because that's how, you've got some things that are changing in your world. So with that Death card meaning new births, but it usually means new births in the upright. In the reverse, it's like stagnant energy, like it's not coming through, it's not ready yet. It's still in that like dying phase. And with the Magician in reverse, this is usually somebody who's like trying to control shit that's out of their control. So, but you have that Ten of Cups, meaning, you know what, you're going to find the humor in anything that comes your way, no matter how much people are assholes to you, no matter how much stuff just isn't going your way, no matter how much you've just like tried to make things come alive again. It's just, some things are going to be what they are. Focus on the things that are making you happy and that make you come alive, because if this stuff is just going to be stagnant and be what it is, sometimes you kind of have to just let the universe handle that and focus on the things that you do have in alignment for you, and focus on the things that are making you come alive and do make you feel well. All right, guys. That's all that I have for everybody tonight. I want to thank everybody who's popped in and has spent time with me this evening and had heard me rant off in the beginning. And hopefully, the messages from these readings have come through for you and provided you with some sentiment of guidance. And I want to thank all my moderators, as always, for keeping the chats clean, happy, and popping and inviting and welcoming to everybody that popped in. If I didn't get to say hello to you and greet you, I love you all and I thank you all so, so much. I appreciate all of your love and light that you guys constantly bring to me. Please make sure that you leave a comment down below. It helps feed the algorithm, but it also lets me know how I'm doing with readings and what you guys may want to see in the future. Also hit that like button, and please do share this out on your social media so other people can receive the messages as well. All right, guys, once again, thank you so, so much. I love you all. Please take care, and I will see you soon.